help me. You help people, right? That's what you do.
I don't abide fancy clothes, but you look like you might. I hear Radiant Raiments has a large selection.
Please, don't interrupt the court.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafingar's people will always be safe under my
Your
rule.
Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragon Bridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. But about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed. Do you have business with the court? You mean the Dragon Bridge issue? I'll be honest with you. I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now. But everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Erikur. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Skyrim, if nothing else, we respect the traditions of our fathers' fathers. You do well to remember that. Feel free to return to me with questions. Blue Palace is an open forum.
With the passing of my dear husband Torrig, the weighty position of Jarl has fallen to me. Please direct questions to my steward. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torrig. And so he came before my husband and he shouted, with that terrible voice, like something out of a legend, or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say. for it grieves me to speak of it. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torygg was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? Be well. Pray for solitude and...
Please address all questions to the steward, Folk Firebeard.
Be quick. I have little patience for mundane concerns.
You should see me when you get bored, stranger.
I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory.
How can I help a brother Nord? Watch the skies, traveler.
got your back. I am at your command. Let's get...
Wolf Queen, hear our call and awaken. We summon Potema. We summon Potema. Long have you slept the dreamless sleep of death, Potema. No longer. Hear us, Wolf Queen. We summon you. We summon Potema.
Yes! Yes! Return me to this realm!
As our voices summon you, the blood of Vincent binds you, Wolf Queen. Summon the curse bound by blood.
What? What are you doing? You fools! You cannot bind me to your wills.
Summon the curse bound by blood.
You ants don't have the power to bind me.
Something is wrong. There is an intruder.
Now ain't this a surprise? Lucky hit. I'll rip your heart out. That's all you got? Yourself a Nord?
Now ain't this a surprise? That it? Is that your best? We're
Get off while you still got it.
disgrace to your own kind. What was that?
I swear you won't leave here alive! That's it. That's all you've got. Mine, elf.
Fletching suits me. It's difficult and sometimes tedious, but a well-made arrow strikes forth like the fury of a god.
If it's arms or armor you need...
Tell me again why I'm wasting men chasing after a fairy tale.
If Ulfric
You can sell off that junk at bits and pieces.
it won't be a fairy tale. It'll be a problem.
Don't you Nords put any stock in your own traditions? I thought the Moot chose the king. We're backing Elisif. When the Moot meets, they'll do the sensible thing.
Not everyone's agreed to the moot. You've been here long enough to know that Nords aren't always sensible. We follow our hearts.
So what? Ulfric gets this crown and then suddenly he's High King?
No, it's not as simple as that. But the Jagged Crown would be a potent symbol for his cause to rally around. But if we found it first...
And we gave it to Elisif.
In the absence of the moot, it would further legitimize her claim.
Perhaps. I'm entrusting you with what resources I can spare. But I'm warning you, if this turns out to be a waste of time and men...
It won't be a waste.
Make sure you take the auxiliary here. You can send him back when you get there and find nothing but old bones and cobwebs.
The Stonefist's no fool. He's found the crown, but we'll get to it first. Welcome back, soldier. I'm glad you made it in one piece. I'll send men to garrison the fort right away. You did well. I'm impressed. But before we go any further, it's time for you to officially join the Legion. Speak with General Tullius. He'll administer the oath.
In joining the Legion, you'll be taking an oath binding you to the service of the Emperor, and thus to every citizen of the Empire. Hjalmarch is an important buffer zone between the rebel forces and the capital. Ulfric will try to break at some point. Changed your mind? Decided you wanted to soldier for the Empire after all. Well then, repeat after me. Upon my honor, I do swear undying loyalty to the Emperor Titus Mede II. And unwavering obedience to the officers of his great empire. May those above judge me, and those below take me, if I fail in my duty. Long live the Emperor, long live the Empire. Welcome to the Imperial Legion, soldier. Just remember, we take care of our own. Once you're in the Legion, you're in it for life. Speak to Behrend. He's normally out by the forge. He'll get you outfitted. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Legate Rika has a special assignment for you.
The Stonefist's no fool. He's found the crown. Welcome to the Legion, Auxiliary. Listen up. Welcome to the Legion, Auxiliary. Listen up. Ulfric's right-hand man, Galmar Stonefist, has located what he believes is the final resting place of the Jagged Crown. We're going to make sure he doesn't get his hands on it. The rest of my men are already assembling outside Corvinjune. I'll meet you there as soon as I finish up here. A legendary crown dating back to King Harald's time or before. A powerful relic of a golden age, long since past. Legend has it that the crown is made from the bones and teeth of ancient dragons, and is said to increase the power of the wearer. Whatever the truth, if Ulfric gets his hands on it, it would be a powerful symbol around which to rally support for his cause. Well, to be frank, we don't. Its location was lost with King Borgus when the Great Hunt killed him off while on his Lushan campaigns. Supposedly, his body was brought back to Skyrim and secretly buried with the crown. Knowledge of that location was lost in the Wars of Secession. But my agents report that Galmar is pretty damn convinced Corvinjune is the tomb of King Borgus. I know Galmar. We fought in many wars together. He's not a sentimental man taken to fancy. If he believes the crown is there, he's likely found it. I am a loyal citizen of the Empire. My parents were legionnaires, and I've followed in their footsteps. But more importantly, I am a daughter of Skyrim, and wish to see her made whole again. I've been a daughter of Skyrim all my life. I love this land, and her people. So do all the Nords that serve the Empire. Ulfric, too, once. He wasn't always a self-serving egomaniac. He fought in the Imperial Army in the war against the Dominion. But Ulfric and his Stormcloaks are deluding themselves. If there's any hope of a long-term victory against the Dominion, it's in the Empire. The rebels are only inflaming the tension and weakening the Empire by distracting it from its ultimate aim. I consider this conversation over.
The winking skeever's got warm beds and cold mead. You look like you could use both.
If it's arms or armor you need, see Beirund in Castle Dower. Bloody good blacksmith.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with? Yep. I just have one question for you. Light, medium, or heavy? Light armor for scouting detail. Heavy armor for full-on combat. Or something in between. They don't make finer steel anywhere else. If this doesn't keep you from dying, nothing will. Now that's it. One free outfit per soldier. You lose that, or get it banged up. You'll need to pay like everyone else. I think I would, if it weren't for my son and my wife. Oh, Seema would have my hide if I even suggested I might step foot on a battlefield. You think Stormcloaks and Legionnaires are dangerous? Ha! It's almost all I have time for these days. The men training here in Solitude, and the troops out in the field, they all need weapons and armor. But I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. To be honest, no. But High King Torrig supported them. And now, her Lady Elisif has thrown in with them. You could say I'm a king's man at heart. I guess that's Jarl's man now. My loyalty lies with Solitude. So, where Jarl Elisif leads, I follow. Written. And anytime you need arms or armor, my forge never rests.
I've got your back. Let's get going then.